Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, host of Intellect Digest, and in this video I'm going to compare three phones which are much talked about: the new second generation Motorola Moto G, the Xiaomi Redmi 1S and Micromax Canvas Nitro. We are going to compare them on 14 different aspects and we are going to give them scores out of 10 for each of these aspects. These aspects include design, build quality, quality of accessories, dual SIM functionalities, display quality, rear camera, front camera, video playback, audio playback, gaming, call quality, internet browsing experience, software, user interface, speed and performance, and value for money. We'll sum up the score and tell you which phone scores the best. Let's get started with our comparison. I'll start with the design and build quality of the phone. All three phones are very nicely designed, but the Moto G feels the most robust out of these three. Redmi 1S on the other hand is also fairly sturdy, and the Micromax Canvas Nitro, although it looks very beautiful, but it does not feel as solid as compared to the other two. So I'll give a 9 to Moto G, a 9 to Redmi 1S and an 8 to Micromax Canvas Nitro. Next is the quality of accessories. Moto G comes with a really low quality or mediocre earphone, and there is no data cable, and the charger that is provided is also not very fast charger. So in quality of accessories I'm going to give it only 5. Redmi 1S on the other hand gives you good quality wall charger and cable, but again it does not come with earphones. Again I'm going to give it a 5. Micromax Canvas Nitro comes with good quality charger, cables, as well as good quality in the ear earphones. I'm gonna give it a 9. Third comparison is the dual SIM functionality and features, and all three phones fare very well at the dual SIM functionality. They have 2 SIM card slots each and they perform really well. So I am going to give it a 10 to all three. Next is very important factor, which is the display quality. Out of these three phones, the viewing angles are best on Redmi 1S. The Micromax Canvas Nitro also does very well, and the Moto G is not far behind. They have same display resolution, which is 1280 by 720 pixel. However, the screen size is different. It's 4.7 inch on Redmi 1S and 5 inch on the Moto G as well as Micromax Canvas Nitro. In terms of display, my overall score will be 8 for Moto G, 9 for Redmi 1S and a 9 for Micromax Canvas Nitro. Talking about the camera performance, the Micromax Canvas Nitro comes with the most capable 13 megapixel rear camera, which comes with an f-stop number of f/2.2. The other two cameras are also fairly capable. In this comparison, I'm going to give a 9 to Micromax Canvas Nitro and 8 to Redmi 1S and 8 to Moto G. In terms of front-facing cameras, the Moto G gets a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, the Nitro gets a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, and the Redmi 1S also gets a 1.6 megapixel front-facing camera. All three shoot very good pictures with the front-facing camera, and in terms of quality I would rate 9 for Micromax Canvas Nitro, 8 for Moto G and 7 for Redmi 1S. Next we talk about the video playback quality. In terms of the audio as well as video appeal, all three phones do impress us, so I'm going to give a 9 to all three of them. Next is the music playback or audio playback on these three phones. In terms of speaker quality, Moto G stands out with dual frontal speaker and gives good audio quality, whereas the Micromax Canvas Nitro lacks the sound loudness because the rear speakers are not very loud, and also the sound gets muffled when you put it on a flat surface. So the Nitro is scoring the least here at 6, whereas the Redmi 1S gets 7s and the Moto G gets an 8. Gaming is where the Micromax Canvas Nitro does really well with the most powerful processor, 1.7 GHz octa-core CPU, followed by the Xiaomi Redmi 1S, which comes with a 1.6 GHz quad-core CPU, followed by the Moto G, which comes with a 1.2 GHz quad-core CPU. The GPU on them is comparable, the gaming quality is also comparable, but if I have to rank, I'll give it a 7 to Moto G, an 8 to Redmi 1S, and an 8 to Micromax Canvas Nitro as well. Talking of call quality, none of them is exceptionally good, but they all come with dual microphones for noise cancellation. They all have good call clarity and voice clarity within the call. So I'm gonna give a 9 to all three of them. When it comes to internet browsing experience, all the phones perform really well. The inbuilt browser on the Redmi 1S and the default browser on the Micromax Canvas Nitro, they both are faster than the Google Chrome browser that is installed on them. Whereas on Moto G, on Google Chrome, we also found the internet experience to be really good. If I have to score them, I'll rate an 8 to Moto G and a 9 to Redmi 1S as well as Micromax Canvas Nitro. Next is the software and user interface. If I have to talk about the software and UI, the Moto G is the best in terms of pure Android experience. It gets you the latest Android OS 4.4.4. The Xiaomi Redmi 1S, however, is still not on KitKat, but it gives you the MIUI version 5, which gives you a lot of features and functionalities which are additional to the Moto G experience. The Micromax Canvas Nitro uses gesture experience, which is somewhat unique and outstanding compared to the other two phones. So all three here fare alike and they all run good quality of user interface and they offer good user experience overall. I'll give a 9 to all three of them in this department. Next is the speed and performance. This is something which is really differentiated by the Micromax Canvas Nitro. With an octa-core processor at 1.7 GHz, it performs the best. On our benchmark test, it scored close to 30,000 mark, which is the best among these three phones. The Redmi 1S on the other hand scores around 21,000 and the Moto G scored around 18 to 19,000 score. So if I have to rate on the basis of the performance and speed, it is 9 for Nitro, 8 for Redmi 1S and a 7 for Moto G. And now talk about very important aspect, which is value for money. You are paying around 6,000 rupees to get a Redmi 1S, 12,990 to get a Moto G and 12,990 to get a Nitro. At 6,000 mark, the Redmi 1S, which is very comparable to the other two phones, is the best value for money, so I'll give it a 10. Among the remaining two, the Micromax Canvas Nitro with an octa-core processor, better performance, I will give it a 9. And Moto G, if I have to score it relatively to the other two phones, I'll give it a 6 for the value for money in this segment. So after comparing all these aspects, our totals come to be 111 for new Moto G out of 140, 117 out of 140 for the Redmi 1S, and 122 out of 140 for the Micromax Canvas Nitro. The overall winner here is the Micromax Canvas Nitro, closely followed by the Redmi 1S and again closely followed by the Moto G second generation. If you have to pick a phone out of these three, I would say you should go for one which suits your needs the best. If I had to pick, I'll pick Redmi 1S for value for money, I'll pick Nitro for gaming, and I'll pick Moto G for the dual frontal speaker and the display quality. So I believe all of them give you a good value and good experience. It's up to your choice which operating system and overall user experience matters to you more. This is all we have on a detailed comparison of the new second generation Moto G versus Xiaomi Redmi 1S versus Micromax Canvas Nitro. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below. If you like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and other social networks. Do subscribe to our channel for latest updates from us. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.